The big question for this segment is, how did the people live during the Paleolithic, and how do we know? Paleolithic is not only a chronological period, but Paleolithic is a life way. Paleolithic is the way people, nomads, lived in the past. Paleolithic is a quest to the origin of humans and the origin of humankind. The Paleolithic, this very long period, is a time on a non-productive economy. Many different species of humans populate Earth during this period. The Paleolithic could be divided into three main periods. The first one is the Lower Paleolithic, or the Early Stone Age in Africa, roughly 3 million years ago until 120,000 years ago. Now for the Middle Paleolithic period, or Middle Stone Age, between 120,000 years ago, 50,000 years ago. The third and last stage of the Paleolithic is the Upper Paleolithic, or Later Stone Age in Africa, broadly 50,000, 10,000 years ago. This is a time period during which only modern Homo sapiens, modern humans, was known to have existed. The climate during the Paleolithic period was very different from the climate today. It consisted of a set of glacial and interglacial periods in which the climate periodically fluctuated between warm and cool temperatures. The Paleolithic lifeway is based on nomadism, hunting, and gathering. Paleolithic communities traveling in small nomadic groups, essentially families. Groups could vary from 5 to 10 people, very small, to maybe a maximum of 20, 30 people. They were moving together and occasionally meeting up with neighboring groups, amongst whom they have relatives. Paleolithic groups may have camp in maybe one place for a few weeks and then slowly moved around in seasonal migration that took them around very familiar circuits from territory to territory, from place to place in different seasons. We don't have very good evidence about the structure of the Paleolithic groups. Archaeologists should work with things, objects, or remains. When we are excavating an archaeological site, a Paleolithic site, we can identify different specific areas. An area for fire, with remains of food around the fire, or another one with the remains of stone tools, a kind of workshop for stone tools. A stone tool is any tool made from or partially from stone. And the study of the stone tool is a lithic analysis. Stone has been used to make a wide variety of different tools throughout history and prehistory. The first tools are very simple, just a pebble, and Paleolithic people remove one part of the pebble to have a very cutting edge, and they use it as a knife. But during the Paleolithic period, mainly the Middle Paleolithic period, we see the development of bifacial hand axes. The bifacial hand axis is a stone work on the two sides and with two different cutting edge. I would say a biface like this one is like a Swiss Army knife. You can use it for different activities. You can cut, you can scratch, you can make a hole in a skin also. There are different kind of bifaces for different periods, different type of stone also, or different type of shape. And each shape can give us an information about the origin of the tool, or about the provenance of the material, or the date of this stone tool. Do not imagine this is something so easy. When you want to create a stone artifact, you need first to imagine what will be the size, what will be the shape of your stone artifacts. And this is a very important stage in the development of humankind. We do not know a lot about these people because we base all our knowledge on archaeology, and there are things we can't really understand only with archaeology. For example, what was their religion? What can we say about their thought, about their belief? We have little access, of course, to the spiritual world of the Paleolithic ancestors. But we have some cave paintings, some artistic remains that can give a little bit of access to this spiritual life. Just one example in Africa. A rock art site discovered in Upper Egypt, in the south of Egypt, a few years ago, 30 kilometers south of the modern city of Edfu. A Belgian team has discovered there an unknown rock art locality. The rock art of Kurta, the name of the site, consists mainly of naturalistically drawn animal figures with, among other things, several images of bovides executed in a vigorous naturalistic manner. Archaeological evidence, technique, style suggests the Kurta rock art dates to the Upper Paleolithic period between 20,000 10,000 years ago. So people for this period were nomads, and all the images represented in Kurta are the images of wild animals, not domesticated animals. But we can see a close relation between the group of people and this animal, because probably these animals were included in the hunting activities, or because this animal have a very religious, spiritual importance for the group. The site of Taramsa Hill is interesting for different topics. First, because groups use this site to collect the rough material and to make their tools, stone tools. Because in Taramsa Hills we also have few features, few archaeological features like pits for the extraction of the shit. And also because the site of Taramsa Hill is one of the few places where archaeologists found human remains. The site is very close to the famous temple of Dendera in the south of Egypt. In Taramsa Hill, archaeologists found the burial of a child. This child was dated 55,000 years old, and this remains is one of the earliest evidence of modern humans in Africa. Another example, the site of Naslet Khater, also in Egypt. In Naslet Khater, archaeologists found another burial, the burial of an adult, this time dated 35,000, 30,000 years old. But this one is also interesting, not because this is one of the oldest human remains in Africa. We've got Australopithecus remains or Homo erectus remains. But this one is the oldest early Upper Paleolithic modern human remains from North Africa. This example is also important because just beside the head of the skeleton was a stone and axe, an offering in the tomb. And this offering in a tomb is the first evidence of an associate artifact with a human body in a tomb. That means that people at this stage were interested in the protection of the bodies in the afterlife. When you protect a body after its death, that means that there is a belief in the afterlife. Why do you want to protect your body if your body is useless after the death? In this case, when you protect the body, we can guess that these people had a very complex belief in the afterlife and maybe a religion.